Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Announcing your pregnancy can be a really exciting time for some people. Some people go through great lengths of planning these things and having parties or surprising their partner or surprising a family member. And then sometimes all of that excitement gets crushed by someone's opinion or a rude or unsolicited comment. So today I want to talk about those things. I'm going to talk about two things in today's video, and if you haven't read the title yet, hopefully you have. It's kind of just news that I'm excited about. It's not really relevant to this video. I have no idea if Lena has dealt with any of this, so I'm not in any way trying to say that Lena has gotten hate or anything like that for sharing her pregnancy announcement. I just wanted to announce that because I love Lena. We are blessed that Lena is sharing her pregnancy announcement with us. Whether she chooses to share her pregnancy journey and birth experience and all of that is totally up to her, and that is her decision. It's her body, her birth, and her choice. But I'm so stoked that she shared such a sweet and precious video with us. If you don't know who Lena is that I keep talking about, this is her and her boyfriend Adam during their announcement. Lena also goes by Lena the Plug, and she has a YouTube channel. Adam goes by Adam22 on YouTube, and he also has a YouTube channel. But Adam has another YouTube channel called No Jumper, where he mostly does podcasts with celebrities and rappers. Lena is also on Instagram, where she promotes a lot of her content, including her OnlyFans, so check that out. I'm very happy for her and Adam because I remember back in November when she announced that she was trying and she was ready to have a baby. And Lena has talked about wanting a baby on her channel for quite some time now. So I'm just so happy for her and Adam. If you haven't watched Lena's pregnancy announcement video, she has one on her personal channel where she talks about it for like 2 minutes. And then she has one on her new family channel where it's the actual pregnancy announcement and she's surprising Adam, and it's really cute. The way Lena talks about things, I just feel like she's my big sister and we're best friends, and that sounds so creepy. I don't think that YouTubers or people like it when people talk about them like that. So she was kind of getting concerned that she wasn't getting pregnant fast enough. She was worried about Adam's weed consumption, which I have read that can make it a little bit harder to have a baby, but I don't know the science behind it. I've just briefly read about it, so I do not know how accurate, how true. I don't know all the research on that, but I've just seen it. Lena also mentions that maybe it was her. I just want you all to know, sometimes conceiving a baby can take time, and I mean like 6 months to however long. All of our bodies are different. It's actually pretty hard to have a baby, especially when you're trying. Lena was also talking about her LMP, which means last menstrual period. Not really so much her estimated due date, just how far along she assumed that she was. But she said that it seemed weird that it goes by your last menstrual period. And if you don't remember, or if you haven't seen it, I have a whole video from Evidence-Based Birth where I read articles from Evidence-Based Birth about due dates and estimated due dates when your baby might come. I talk about Nagel's rule, which goes more in depth with your last menstrual period and why providers and people go by your last menstrual period to determine when you're going to give birth. But that's not what this video is about. I just thought that that would be fun to bring up in this video because Lena kind of talked about it. I don't want to bore you, and Lena will probably never, unfortunately, ever watch this video, but if there's a chance that you do, Lena, I am a childbirth educator and a doula, and I can totally doula you virtually or teach you anything that you would like to know about childbirth. And if it helps, I have 2 kids of my own, 1 hospital birth and 1 home birth. That goes for anyone watching too. I really want to especially support birthing people right now during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now let's get right into the article that I'm gonna talk about from Romper.com. When you become a parent, like I said earlier, you hear a lot of shit. And it's usually unsolicited, unhelpful advice. This isn't to say that parenthood doesn't rock. It doesn't mean that your family sucks. It just means that I think people don't really know how to talk to other people. Maybe you know exactly what I'm talking about if you're a parent yourself. I've gotten so many rude comments since I started having babies, about being too young because I was a teen, about being unmarried, and just stuff like that. That's kind of hurtful, kind of not. Sometimes I think it's a projection of their own insecurities, but you know, who knows? I'm not a therapist. I also don't feel that marriage really suits me, so that comment's not really a hurtful one. The one that did hurt was no one thought that I had a future and I would probably be a terrible mom. And that's what I got from the I don't think that you have a future thing, is that I would be a bad mom. But here I am, 2 kids later. I feel like I'm doing my best, and I think that that's really all that you can do as a parent. Lena, if you're watching this and you experienced any form of criticism or unsolicited advice or rude comments when you announced your pregnancy, I am truly sorry. So the article from Romper.com says 17 moms share the worst thing they heard after announcing their pregnancy. And this was an article written by Jamie Kinney in September 6, 2016. So it's a few years ago, but I swear that this stuff is still relevant. Take notes on this one because this is what the author of this article says. I make it a point to respond carefully whenever someone tells me they're pregnant. Pregnancy isn't always a blessing, and those who feel anxious or ambivalent deserve to have their feelings validated. However, I'll go out on a limb and venture that, more likely if not, if someone is announcing their pregnancy to you, they're probably happy about it. In these instances, your instructions are simple. Smile, say congratulations.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Or pretend to be happy. I talked recently with some moms who told me the worst thing they heard after announcing their pregnancy. You may be surprised to learn that not everyone is familiar with the shut up and look happy rule. I mean, really, this isn't rocket science, people. This isn't even the kind of science you do in a 5th grade after-school enrichment program when you take vinegar and baking soda volcano. It's even simpler than that. This is very basic human interaction 101. If someone tells you something and they're smiling, or they have revealed their news in well thought out, over-the-top manner that can be shared on social media to the delight of all, then return their enthusiasm in kind to be the best of your ability. Everyone, incidentally, is able to smile and say, congratulations. Here are some things to not say in case anyone is in need of a refresher course. Sadly, we know not to say them because someone already did. In-laws and co-workers seem to be the worst offenders, and it didn't go over well, like, at all. Margaret shares, what about your career? Then 5 minutes later, across the room, making the weighing scales motion with her hands. Like, I guess like that. Like someone was like, what about your career, Margaret? And then they did this. That's lame. Like, come on. Who would say that to like a new pregnant person? Heather R. says, didn't you just get married? You know your position here is not guaranteed, right? This was from a school district superintendent. I was a tenured teacher in our district's Magnet Academy, and I'd been married 3 years. What she meant is that my position at Magnet wasn't guaranteed. I could be reassigned to another building. It was basically a threat. Joke ended up on her. I reassigned to be a stay-at-home mom. So what I really mean is that's illegal, right? This one is from Ella. After some issues getting pregnant out of the gate, I think some of the most hurtful comments that I've heard were, oh, you must have used fertility treatments, and maybe this one will stick. As if the blame was on me for prior pregnancies not working out. Now, this one really gets me upset, and I honestly don't know what it's like to deal with fertility issues, but during my doula certification, I learned about fertility, and this was one of the things that we focused on for quite a bit. People with fertility issues go through a lot to have a baby. And those comments are, not only are they unnecessary, they're extremely hurtful. Who says that to people? Like, honestly, that's disgusting. That, like, legit repulses me. Morgan said, is it because your cousin had a baby? No. No. Sometimes you just get pregnant and, like, you want to have a baby. We don't know everyone's story and just have all these awful assumptions about them, especially when they're announcing something so special. Sarah says, congrats, you're in a new position, right? You have no leave time build up. I guess you'll either take a really short maternity leave or have to go unpaid. That sucks. Literally right after I said I was expecting. All true, of course, but thanks to Buzzkill, Captain Obvious, it's my job to worry about that and yours to congratulate me. So I think that that's a wonderful response because, again, who reacts like that? Who says this to people? Like, this is worse than just not knowing how to communicate, like I said earlier. It's worse than being socially awkward. This is just plain rude. Jen and Kelly, was it on purpose? How about none of your damn business with a side dish of what the hell does that matter anyway? Very rude. And then Kelly adds, was this planned? Does it matter, or are you just looking to rubberneck the accident? What does that even mean? Like, am I dumb? Like, I don't get that one. Jesse, my grandmother asked, did you forget to take your pill? Grandmas can, unfortunately, sometimes always be the one to hurt your feelings. Mother B says, someone said to her, wow, your other children are so much older. Someone had an oopsie. My answer, no, this is the first planned one. Good going, Heather. That's a good response. Sandra, my sister-in-law said to my husband, are you sure this is what you want? Yes, and if he wasn't sure, then what? What the fuck? Julie says, my mother-in-law didn't take it well. She refused to show the ultrasound to my father-in-law and threw it back at me while saying, this doesn't look like anything. She also refused to speak to anyone during the family dinner that followed. That would make someone feel awful. Rosa says, my mother-in-law and her mom sat me down and said, oh my God, how could you let this happen to you again? What were you thinking? What are you going to do? I laughed and walked away. I don't know, mother-in-law, maybe she's just gonna give birth and raise another child. Like, what else are you gonna do? Marcy says, my mother-in-law said, oh, thank God, I had given up hope of ever being a grandmother. So, once again, make it about yourself, Grandma. Jillian says that someone told her, now you will finally get fat. And that is an awful comment to make. Here's a pro tip. Never ever comment on someone's body size. I don't care if they're a woman, man, what they identify as. Do not comment on people's body sizes because we don't know what people struggle with. We don't know if people struggle with eating disorders, if they struggle with their body image in general. We do not know. And this really goes for pregnant people. Never ever comment on a person's size. Ever. It's just not cool, not okay. I don't care if you don't know how to communicate, just don't do it. Don't comment on anyone's size. Just don't do it. Tracy says, what are you thinking? You are 40 years old. Oh my God. I think that she's perfectly capable of carrying a child and giving birth. So they can just shove that comment right up their butt. They should just smile and nod.
Just smile and wave, boys.
If they cannot say anything nice. Emily says, my program director asked, do you need a few days off to take care of it? What? Violet, my best friend wasn't happy, though he did try to fake it at first. When I eventually said that the pregnancy was a happy surprise, he scoffed. How can it be a surprise? I hate that. That's like having sex without a condom and being surprised when you get an STD. To which I replied, did you just compare my pregnancy to an STD? Then he seemed to realize he was being kind of obnoxious. Yeah, you think? What the... Who raised this person? So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming to my channel. Lena, if you're watching this, which I doubt that you are because I'm a super small YouTuber, but congratulations on your pregnancy. I wish nothing but the best for you and Adam. Remember, I'm a doula and a childbirth educator. Subscribe if you'd like, and I'll see you next time.